Welcome back to the show, everybody. You're going to like this one here. Today, we're going to talk about the IMF has a new XC cross-border platform, but so does the BIS, and it's called the Unified Ledger. Could they be talking about the XRP Ledger? We have something for you to see. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, $1.12 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 7.7%. We see Bitcoin, 26,800 plus, 1,700 plus for Ethereum. Tether market cap is 83 billion plus. XRP is 48 cent and holding, but we're off by 9.3 on the 7-day and 2.3 on the 24-hour. Ladies and gentlemen, we know this much right here. The Digital Perspective Mastermind group is growing very quickly. And I tell you, we have found the learning curve that you're looking for because we know that you can't keep up with everything. Markets are collapsing all around us. Banks are hoarding gold. Bank runs are happening. But you know what? Inside of this group, you get the investor checklist, portfolio creation, groups and courses that you need, a supportive community that is incredible with critical thinking, and the resources and access of knowledge inside of this group is absolutely remarkable. I'm proud to be a member. I can tell you that. This is the time when real wealth is made. And I want to tell you, this is the time to take advantage of the special offer that we have right now and click the link below, make the investment in yourself and get into this group, because I'm telling you, people in here are changing their lives for themselves and their family. That's what we're doing inside of this group. You should join us. Click the link. We start right here. Just in, Germany's 1.4 trillion asset manager, Deutsche Bank, applies for regulatory license to operate crypto custody service. That's one more reason you know it's coming and it's not going away. UK crypto stablecoin law is approved at the Parliament's upper house, which means it goes to the next stage before becoming law. Things are happening, ladies and gentlemen, and I wanted to keep people reminded of Mr. Dao Quan here from Terraform Labs, who's been found guilty for using false passport by court in Montenegro, which happens to be a country working with Ripple's private ledger, and has been sentenced to 4 months in prison. That's nothing compared to what he's done to the people in the rug pull of his project. Blackrock and Fidelity spot ETF approval set to ignite unprecedented crypto market bull run. And you know what? If this gets approved by Blackrock and Fidelity, and remember, Fidelity said they may be working alongside of Coinbase to get that spot ETF. If we do see the approval go through, it would more than likely do exactly that. We are watching it closely. Meanwhile, we're 11 days now from the countdown of FedNow. And remember, Valente, Finastra, ACI Worldwide, these are all Ripple partners here. Ripple is a partner to FedNow. This is a remarkable moment in time. I speculate, will we see the decision from Judge Torres come down before the launch of FedNow? I hope so. Then we reported on this yesterday, but it's very important to the flow of news today and what we're going to look at. Bank of England has successfully migrated their payment system CHAPS for UK's high-value payments to ISO 20022. Executive Director of Payments Victoria Cleland said the introduction of ISO 20022 financial messaging standards marks a major milestone. Now, this is the same Victoria Cleland in 2019 that told us that the Bank of England will migrate from its current core settlement system with a big bang migration before the end of 2025. We're just 24 months away from that. And we see here, she said, for those who are not aware of this, she expected a big bang cutover because what you have with RTGS is a core ledger supporting payment transactions worth hundreds of billions of pounds a day. We can't have some members on it while others are not. After talks with Bank of England's IT internal department, It says it is likely that the bank will keep the existing system up and running alongside the new one for a period as a fallback. So if there was any problem, we could recover back to that. That was the plan then, and it is the plan that is being executed now. We are living through that moment right now. And then there's this. The IMF shakes up the payments landscape, ladies and gentlemen, introducing a new IMF payment platform. Oh, this is getting good, ladies and gentlemen. The International Monetary Fund has revealed a new class of cross-border payment system, the XC Platform, utilizing a single ledger to track CBDC transactions for enhanced efficiency and reduced cost. This is being called the XC Platform, designed on the model of CBDC infrastructure, doesn't require the use of CBDCs and supports interoperability among assets and money tokenized by the private sector. It doesn't mention Ripple or XRP specifically or the ledger here, but one has to wonder knowing that there's diagrams like this floating around from the IMF staff, citing Visa, MasterCard, American Express, FedNow planned, which is supposed to launch next month, and then RippleNet inside of this. Now, we understand that on-demand liquidity settles directly with XRP. Ripple does not have to do that. RippleNet. So we are watching this closely for more information, but all signs and signals are pointing to it. You know, I often say in moments like this, when you hear hooves, think horses, not zebras. Then the Bank of International Settlements comes out and says, we've got a unified ledger, a new type of financial market infrastructure. Imagine that. The same time that the UK switching over to their new system, FedNow's launching in July. The IMF announces the XC Platform for cross-border payments tokenization. Now the BIS just so happens to have this in their back pocket. A unified ledger, new type of financial market infrastructure, and it can harness the benefits of tokenization by combining CBDCs, tokenized deposits, tokenized assets, in a shared programmable platforms. This breaks down on page 7 here where it talks about Helvetia, Jura. It says Genesis, Dunbar, Enbridge, and Dynamo. We've talked about all these different projects before. But remember, Enbridge specifically was cited by James Wallace. James Wallace told us that Enbridge, XRP Ledger, and the XRP asset was absolutely one of the Enbridge models that BIS was looking at. Well, you have to wonder here, like Chad Steingraber asked, you know, the unified ledger could improve existing processes through automation and bundling of transactions and also enable new forms of operations and contracts. Well, that sounds exactly like somebody describing if that unified ledger with tokenized assets could be the private XRP ledger. Here's a reminder again, very quickly, of James Wallace saying exactly that.
Or digital pound, you obviously need to have some way to interact cross-border. Yeah. So I think the BIS call this a multi-CBDC model. One of the ideas is you use a sort of a neutral bridge currency to go from one to the other, similar to the model I explained earlier with our on-demand liquidity.
Okay, so he just told you in that statement that it is absolutely the XRP Ledger and on-demand liquidity being looked at as one of the models, at the very least, of the Enbridge. Right? And that's absolutely right. And that is what he said there. Doesn't mean it's the only one, but it's absolutely one of them. Now, this we finish off here with Craig DeWitt, who is from Real Supermojo, the Supermojo company that he started for NFTs, based around the NFT world. And reminder that NFTs are not just cartoon images. They have so much more coming to them in the way of use case. I want you to listen here as Elizabeth sits down and talks with Craig DeWitt, former Ripple executive, and listen how excited he is about this. And I remind everybody, as you listen to him talk about the size of the markets for NFTs and tokenizing the traditional markets, he says it's in the quadrillions. Sky is the limit. I will say it again for the people in the back. This is a full court press, ladies and gentlemen. Some people out here will try to make you believe it's just about developers. Some people try to make you believe it's just about central banks. Give it up, people. It's about everything. The top to the bottom to the top. It's about everyone working together because this technology is a solution. That's what this is about. Don't let people split the vision. Take a listen.
Well, when you start getting into the really important things where payments come into play, you start looking at fixed income contracts, that's debt issuance or bonds, and you start looking at some of the actual securities that power our world, our financial world today. And these are things that lend themselves very, very well to non-fungible tokens. A debt issuances, a bond issuances, for example, lend themselves perfectly to that. And if you think about it, based on the amount of NFTs or coupons that you hold, payments happen programmatically on chain to those holders. There's no reconciliation there, right? It's not like you need State Street to charge a fee to custody all that. You can do it all on chain without a bunch of reconciliation. The kind of money that we're talking about for those kind of bond issuances, by the way, you're looking at trillions of dollars a year. And then you lay on FX contracts on top of it. You're talking about, and this sounds like a funny number, but on an annual basis, like quadrillions of dollars of value. And that's where I see this. That's where I see this really going, is you put all this together and you have this incredible ecosystem for commerce and finance together. And that's
inspiring, I got to tell you. And shout out to Craig DeWitt, former Ripple executive, now the head and founder of Super Mojo. Very excited about that use case. And I tell you, it is so fitting too, because it's a great job that Elizabeth did here talking with Craig. But I mean, this is so important because there's so many people that attack others for being enthusiastic. They say that you're hypey simply because you believe Ripple and the people that work there. I hope that this is a chance and an opportunity for those people to really take a step back and to say to themselves, you know what? Maybe I need to reanalyze where I'm standing. Because, you don't have to believe what someone else does. But you know what? I've always believed the people at Ripple. I believe Brad Garlinghouse. I believe David Schwartz when he talked about XRP's got to be a high price. I believed Arthur Brito when he talked about XRP and the Ledger serving the population of the world. I believe Craig DeWitt. I believe Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larson. I believe them all. I've always believed them. And you know what? I also believe Nick Bogelis and We'd Say Win and all the developers, because it's got to come from all sides. It's not going to come from one place. If there's a real solution and it's a real use case that solves a real problem, then you got a real answer for the whole world. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.